Hey everybody, welcome to this World Services for the Blind webinar, Smarter and Simpler, SuperSense AI for the Blind. With me today, I have Jerri-Ann Morrow and Heather Miller. Again, I'm Eric Yarberry, our Director of Education and Training here. Jerri-Ann is our Assistive Technology Instructor on campus, and Heather Miller is one of our Assistive Technology Instructors in Training. So again, most of you know World Services for the Blind is a life skills and career training school for the blind, or vocational school for the blind. But what we want to do today is highlight one of the apps for the blind, really one of the up and coming apps. I love it, but it was brought to our attention by our assistive technology instructor, who is going to share with you guys a little bit about our ATI program here on campus. And then we'll also get a perspective from one of our students, and then we'll jump into the app. So, Jerri-Ann?
Okay, so my name is Jerri-Ann Morrow. I'm the on-campus Assistive Technology Instructor. And so for those of you who are not sure what the ATI program is, I'm going to give you a brief description. So in the ATI program, the students learn about many different technologies. They learn how to teach, and how to configure and adapt devices for their students' needs. They learn how to use screen readers, JAWS, and NVDA, and Zoom text. All of this helps them access the Windows desktop as well as, or even better than, their sighted colleagues. So in addition to all of the software, they learn how to use braille displays, voice recorders, and they also learn how to teach this. They learn how educational psychology, causes of vision loss. They learn how to create lesson plans, write monthly reports, write equipment recommendations. And so in all, there's 22 different topics that they learn while they're in the program.
Okay, so Heather, introduce yourself and tell folks how far along you are in the program, and then share a little more if you want to.
Sure. So I'm Heather Miller. I'm from Athens, Georgia, and I am in month 4 of the ATI program. I came here to WSB at the end of April as part of the pre-vocational program. And when I first got here, I could barely use my iPhone, let alone use a computer. I didn't know anything about JAWS or Zoom text or a lot of the other technology that's out there to assist those that are visually impaired. But since I've come to be part of this program, it is night and day from where I was when I started. Of all the things that Jerri-Ann was describing that we learn in the program, I would say that technology itself is maybe about half of it. The real fun comes from the lesson planning, learning the different learning styles and developing a teaching style that goes along with those different learning perspectives, the understanding how the eye works and everything else that goes into it. It's so much broader than just knowing how to use the Microsoft Office programs or knowing how to look up things on Google. And like Jerri-Ann said, I would say that definitely at this point, I'm faster on the computer than I ever was when I was sighted. Turns out a keyboard is a nice thing to have.
So, Heather, just to kind of share with everyone a little more, what about the program, like, is your most favorite? What's your most favorite thing about the program?
My favorite part of the program is student teaching. It's so interesting getting to work with all the different students, and I think that's where the biggest challenge comes in, but it's also the most fun because no one student is just like another. And part of what we do is understand the person, what their condition is, what their experience is, and what they're trying to do while they're here, whether it's a specific program or they're trying to return to a job that they held maybe prior to losing their vision, and just going through the steps of figuring out what each individual student needs and how I can best take my knowledge and skills to create something that's going to help them is, to me, the most thrilling and exhilarating part of the program.
Okay. So another really cool thing about the program, which is why we're here today, is students and the instructor, they are always looking for new technology, and there's always opportunity to share that in the class, but we want to share that with you all today. So Jerri-Ann, tell us about SuperSense.
Okay, so, and I tell the ATI all the time that the Assistive Technology Instructor program is not just about the technology, it's about the people we serve, and giving them back their dignity, their ability to do things independently. And I was really excited about SuperSense because that's exactly what this does. And we've seen some of these features in other apps, but not with this ease, and it doesn't work as well. This is so quick, so fast. I noticed with iPhone 12, the LiDAR technology came out. So I started searching for, well, if this technology is on my iPhone, maybe they're using it to benefit, apps for the blind. So I started searching and I found Super LiDAR and SuperSense. And so SuperSense has different features. It had a document reader, a barcode reader that's just amazing. I can just go from one product to another and it captures the barcode and tells me what it is. As a matter of fact, I was in my kitchen and I had left the cabinet door open. And so I scanned the barcode and then it read cream of mushrooms. And I realized I'd left the cabinet door open and it had scanned the barcode from something inside the cabinet. So I was super excited about this, how easy it is to use, and came right in and showed it to everybody and found that everybody who's seen it has just loved it.
So what we've done for you guys is put together a quick video of some of our students here on campus, and give us a minute. Lee's going to share her screen and we will show you guys that video.
Okay.
My name is Hala Cooper, and I'm going to use this app to read a door sign.
Counseling, counseling. Capital N, M-E, capital N, M-E, men, accessible, 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 women, accessible, women, accessible.
My name is Kevin Cromie, and I'm going to use the app to read the dials on the washer and dryer. Let's see here.
10%, 20%. 30%, 40%.
So in this one, he's adjusting the magnification feature in the app.
More dry, normal, dry, damp, dry.
30%, 20%.
Whereas the feature you saw before was Hala actually using was it the quick scan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quick dry, air fill,
50%.
air fluff, wrinkle release.
I'm Rowan, and I'm going to use the app to read barcodes.
McCormick beef stew seasoning mix 1.5 ounces. Great value mild chili seasoning mix, 1 ounce.
I'm Chris Walters, and we are going to learn how to use SuperSense to read a piece of printed mail.
Rotate to 1 clock position. Move further away from the document. Document is ready for reading. Beginning of the document. Happy K. Or the Charton. Receive 40% to prescription. Prescription Jetwork I. New offers 24/7 burden our website. Check out the other side Oder Octor to find the sister online to start using your benefits.
My name is Heather Miller, and I'm going to use SuperSense to locate the stairwell.
Stairs. 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 Pairs.
So there's so many different objects that SuperSense can identify. Jerri-Ann, it can go into doors. What else have you seen it identify?
So the thing about SuperSense is it's intuitive, so you don't necessarily even have to choose the correct channel. It will decide what it thinks you're wanting to do and take the picture for you. So if I, am on Smart Scan and it sees a barcode, then it's going to catch and grab that. Then it has the find feature where you can pick something that you want to locate. Let's say you're going into a doctor's office and you just want to look for chairs, then you can activate find and look around the room, and it will not only tell you when it finds a chair, but there's a vibration that will lead you in that direction.
So what we showed you guys is just it's a brief overview. It's what the whole goal of today is, just to expose you guys to this new app. We all know in the blind community that there are so many pieces of technology and tools out there for each one of these specific items. Seeing AI being one of the most common apps that people will recognize or even mention when it comes to something close to this. But this, in my opinion, just goes above and beyond, especially as a user of technology every day. Heather, what do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I've used Seeing AI and SuperSense, and I do find this one to be, I guess you would say, a little more robust than Seeing AI. I really enjoy that Smart Scan feature because you can use it to just quickly scan something. If I'm looking at like an entire piece of paper, it will quickly determine that that's a document and actually take a picture and start reading it from top to bottom. And it's kind of nice to not have to switch between features. If your hands are full and you just need to grab your phone and look at something real quick. So I really like it for that feature.
Yeah, I've used it in airports to find gates. I knew I was in the right area, but I needed to find the specific gate. And it doesn't just read text and stop. It'll, like you saw in Hala's section, where it continues to read those signs, it'll keep throwing, really, in my mind, it essentially are guesses of what it really thinks it is, and it'll give you enough context to figure it out. So Lee, is Shane on at all yet?
I don't see him unless, Shane, you're under a different name.
So that's not a problem. We'll move forward. We've got a great partnership with SuperSense and the team over there. They've always got their hands full, so we were really excited to do this presentation, and we're going to be giving away some SuperSense licenses. It is not free. For those who are going to ask, it is, I believe it's $5 a month subscription, which isn't much when you look at the wide variety of really tools that this piece of technology has packed into it. So Lee, do you want to do that part? You want to go ahead and jump into the giveaway?
Oh, I was going to email the winners.
Okay, well, we can do that then. That's fine. But what we want to do now then is just open it up for questions. I'm sure you guys have questions about whether it's our Assistive Technology Instructor program, the app, any other programs we have. We'll go ahead and open it up for questions.
Hi, this is Kevin. Can you hear me?
Hey, Kevin.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Good. Can you hear me good?
I can.
Okay, good. Yeah, so how good is this at reading street signs? Because sometimes I get disoriented while I'm out and around and I want to make sure I cross the right street. Also, maybe this is a stretch, but us blind folks sometimes tend to veer a little, sometimes. And will this app, maybe not now, but in the future, tell us, take a left, take a right, whatever, when you're crossing a street? That might be a little dangerous, but interesting question nonetheless.
So I could see it maybe, and I'm not a developer, I'm just speaking from the user perspective. Like if it were I could see like a crosswalk identifier feature being packed in just with the technology the way it is so far. And then as far as street signs, I haven't tried it, but I guarantee you it will. It picks up anything that it thinks is print. If I'm reading it, if I'm using the app in airports, I'm fairly certain it'll pick up street signs. What do you
I
guys
can,
think? Go ahead, Lee.
I can also speak to the street sign question, because I've used SuperSense a bit. And I have found it honestly quite remarkable at finding street signs. Like you can hold it very far away from the street sign, and it'll still pick it up.
Will it tell you if there's a person, like a person with a beard, or a person, or you know, that kind of thing?
I'm glad you asked that question because it will. It'll actually even tell you, and it's with the mask wearing, it tells you if it's a person with a mask or if they don't have a mask. Of course, it's not going to say person with mask, but it does pick up people.
It also picks up
Wow.
dogs because as we were playing with it in class one day, it identified Eric's guide dog as dog when we were scanning the room. So
Yes.
Be nice if you could tell it if you could name a person, and it would tell you if that person's near you or not. But maybe that's coming.
Well, it has the find feature where you can specifically say what you want to find. So if I could see that coming.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, Kevin.
Yeah.
Next question.
I have a question. This is Dave Ballman. I haven't used SuperSense, but when I've used other apps for trying to read barcodes, I always have a hard time locating the barcode, and it sounds like maybe this is a little bit more intuitive as far as how it grabs it.
I think so. That is honestly what excited me so much about this, just from times past with other apps trying to find that barcode and getting frustrating, and you hear that beep and you're close and it's taking forever and it's frustrating. This was so simple. I use it probably every day in the kitchen or every time I cook.
I would agree with Jerri-Ann on that one, actually, and I would get frustrated before. So
I think one of the nicest features in the barcode section of SuperSense is that some of the other apps, if you notice, it scans the barcode, takes the picture, and reads you the information, but then you actually have to go back a screen if you want to scan the next barcode. This one doesn't. You can just scan barcode after barcode without ever having to touch your screen and move it back, and so that makes it a lot more user friendly.
have you guys ever ran into an issue where the barcodes weren't recognized?
No, I haven't, at least.
I haven't either. I was just asking.
So what does it actually tell you? Does it just tell you the name of the product, or will it give you like directions on a food package or something through the barcode?
If you hit the more options button, it will give you the nutrition facts and what's in the product and all the nutrition facts. It does not give you like the cooking instructions or the directions.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us today.
This is Ruben. Does it recognize handwriting, and how good of a job does it do if it does?
I don't think they have a feature that's specifically for handwriting, but I did have it pick up numbers, or what I believe to be numbers on a paper that was written.
I'm in the same boat. I had a wedding invitation and I used it, and I think it was handwritten, or at least in some handwritten font, and it picked it up.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us. Next question. Well, to kind of wrap us up, thank you all for joining us. If you have any questions send those to training@wsblind.org. Always, if you're interested in any of our programs, just give us a call, 501-664-7100. You guys feel free to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and just hop on our newsletter. You can do that by going to wsblind.org, subscribing that way. It's on the homepage. That way you don't miss things like this. Lee will be sending out the recipients of the giveaway. It will be someone who is actually here now. So again, thank you guys for joining. And we will see you guys down the road. So thank y'all.
Oh, Shane just joined.
All righty. So we do have, is he ready?
Yes. Hi.
Hey, Shane. So we got, no, hey, better late than never. But really, guys, so we do have an awesome treat for you. We've got one of the team members at SuperSense here with us. So before we close, we're going to open it back up and let him share his story and talk a little bit more about the development side of SuperSense.
Hi. Yeah, I'm so sorry I'm late. I feel like WSB and I have started this tradition where we alternate meetings, right? It's like the last time the WSB was like 20 minutes late, and I was like, oh, I'll get some extra stuff done, and this time I'm 20 minutes late. So now we're even. I'm so sorry. This didn't come up in my calendar for some reason. And
no, thanks for joining. We appreciate it.
As a lot of you probably know, by the time November hits, like, we're pretty much just running on our calendars. So I'm really sorry. Thank you so much for sticking around. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Seriously. I will let me first tell you a little bit about myself, the scatter-minded individual that you now know. I am currently working, of course, with Mediate, the company behind SuperSense and Super LiDAR. I do a lot of our community stuff, so I help with marketing. I do these kinds of things, which are the best things that I do. I do tech support and trading type stuff. So I never get bored. It's pretty diverse. I'm also working on my bachelor's degree. I'm a business student, and I have a 5-year-old son. So we build trains and destroy trains and build walls and destroy walls. A lot of fun, a lot of good times. Questions about all of these things are, of course, welcome. And the development process of SuperSense, to get specific, is actually kind of a long story, but really not at the same time. It's a long story in the sense that we started work on SuperSense as a company in 2018, so it was almost 4 years ago. But the story behind it is really simple. We had 2 co-founders, one of which is a social entrepreneur. He wants to work with communities that are underserved, like ours, the blindness community, and create meaningful change there in those places. And the other co-founder is a computer vision specialist. He's specialist in AI research, computer vision, AR, all that stuff. And so they got together in 2018 and said, we could do a lot to benefit the blindness community. And they're in Cambridge. So they started interviewing and chatting with blind people in the area, centered around the Berklee College of Music, actually, in Boston, about what we could do and what we could create. And eventually, that's where that's what led to SuperSense, because we started with a navigation focus, things like the Object Explorer, Object Finder, which let you navigate your area based on information about the objects around you if you're looking for something specific or you want to know about everything in the vicinity. And people were like, that's great, cool, this is nice. But also, can you scan documents? Can you read business cards? Can you read street signs? Can you identify products from barcodes? Can you read currency? And if you're a person in business, you know that the thing you really don't like to say is the word no. You really don't want to tell all these people, no, we can't do any of that. Thanks for coming. Thanks for asking. Bye. So we started developing all these features because they're what the community needed. And And that's kind of been the driving force behind SuperSense for all this time, is creating things that the community needs, that the community asks for. And so when people ask me what makes SuperSense different from stuff like Seeing AI or Envision or any of these other great apps that are scanning, I tell them that it's the company behind it. I mean, there's lots of technical specs and reasons that I can give you about how it's faster or more accurate. But a lot of that stuff is subjective too. So the biggest reason I could tell you that makes us different is that everything that we create is something that you guys have asked for. And that's what we need to do. That's what all companies need to do to benefit the community, is to work together with people. I did see a question. SuperSense does work on iOS and Android. You can get it on both platforms. You can get all of the same features as well on both platforms. And if you buy SuperSense, you can, with a lifetime subscription, we'll give you access to it on both platforms. So if you buy it on one platform, so for example, if you buy it on Android, but you also want to use it on your iPhone, send us that receipt and we will give you access on the iPhone. I don't know, what have you guys covered so far? What can I fill in here?
So we
I
did
know
have
I've kind of wrecked
we
your
had-
agenda. I'm very sorry.
No worries. So we had an interesting question that I think should be addressed, was about assisting with street crossings. And the idea that individuals who are blind veer, and is there a way for SuperSense to aid with that?
The short answer is no. So SuperSense focuses on scanning. It focuses on scanning and interpreting information. So anything that you're doing with SuperSense, the core component is that it's scanning something. So it's scanning an object, or it's scanning a barcode, or a banknote, or a piece of text, or an area like a scene. What SuperSense doesn't do is it doesn't track movement or location. That falls more into the realm of something like Super LiDAR, which is another app that we're working on, which is specifically geared toward navigation. And in the future, that might be able to help with street crossings. That's something that we're working on currently, actually, and it's a big research project. We have a lot of things in the pipeline, so many actually that it's become a little bit difficult to release features quickly. And so that's one of the things that we're working on right now, is really streamlining and deciding what needs to come next and how long is that really going to take. So street crossings for an app like Super LiDAR is definitely in the works. It's definitely possible. It's just a matter of, how long that'll take. But as part of SuperSense, it wouldn't work well, just because of how SuperSense is oriented and how it works. I'm looking at questions in the chat. Super LiDAR is actually on the App Store right now. It's totally free. And you can get it on only iOS devices that are equipped with the LiDAR sensor. So that's the 12 Pro and the 13 Pro. SuperSense, of course, the scanning app, the one that's on Android and iOS, is also, it has a free trial. So when you download it, you get 7 days for free. Because you were here at WSB and you put up with my extreme lateness, I'd be more than happy to give you a free month access to SuperSense on whichever platform you're on. So feel free to send me an email. I'll put it in the chat. Or it's also in the WSB article that these guys so kindly published about SuperSense and myself. So if you can't read the chat, you can get it there. Send me an email and I'll give you a free month. So you have the 7-day free trial. You have the free month because you're in touch with WSB and you're good people. And then if you want to pay for it after that, we'd really appreciate it. I do enjoy being able to afford my own dinner. You can buy $5 a month, $50 annually, or $100 for a lifetime subscription. I think that covers those questions. If I miss anything, let me know.
Thanks for joining us. Do we have any questions that anyone?
Yeah.
I know you covered chat. Is there anyone who wants to hop back in and say something?
Sure. Feel free to throw things at your monitors if I'm doing poorly. I won't be offended. You can can throw food at your screen. Oh, I think I heard someone key up there.
Hi, this is Deanna. I was curious if,
Hi, nice to meet you.
nice to meet you. I was wondering, you said that it was $5 a month, $50 for a year, and then how much for the lifetime?
$100 for a lifetime.
$100.
And that
Okay.
includes all the new features, all the bug fixes, all that stuff.
Okay. Okay. All right. Very good. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Yeah, any gaps that I can fill, anything that you guys didn't have the chance to talk about or that you want some info about, I'd be happy to.
So there was a question. There was a question about barcode scanning, and it was, is there a potential for there to be instructions added in the future? At least we don't think there are right now. So is there potential? Like
absolutely, that's one of our next SuperSense projects. So that is coming very soon.
Great.
That's one of the most immediate features that we're going to be working on with SuperSense. And if you forget a question, because this is always what happens to me, is I come to one of these things and then I forget what my question is, or if we happen to run out of time, feel free to send me an email. My email's in the chat. It's also in the WSB blog post. Also, if you'd rather have a conversation over voice, you can request a call within SuperSense. You can go and open up the menu and click request a call. It's totally free. And I will give you a call and we can chat about, anything that you want, any concerns, any questions, any feature suggestion ideas that you may have. I'm happy to chat about all of it. Seriously. If you want to follow updates, new things, we're super community driven. So our newsletter is, I'd say it's like 30% about us and then 70% about the community and what other blind people are doing. So we promote a lot of blind artists and blind activists and creators. So if you go to our website, supersense.app, our blog is there, our newsletter is there, our social media is there. Feel free to follow us and keep in touch. We would love to hear from you and what you think and what you'd like to see from us. I cannot express how sorry I am for being so late to this meeting.
Don't worry.
I cannot believe it.
No worries.
Go ahead.
This is Kevin. I have a question. Oh.
Go.
Are folks like, because I've never heard of you before until yesterday, are folks like the National Federation of the Blind and ACB aware that you exist, and do you plan to go to any state and national conventions? I will.
Absolutely. I've worked with a whole variety of NFB chapters across the country. I've had some presentations with lots of chapters. We've been on ACB main menu. We've been on ACB Sundays. We've done a lot of really great stuff with them. The problem with national conventions, let me tell you, I would love to be a part of them. They're so expensive. We're a small startup, guys. We're a small company. So it is really difficult for us to be able to afford some of those big, marketing, advertising costs, like, these multi-thousands of dollars. But I will tell you that it's very possible that we will have a presence at those conventions, especially on a state level, virtually. And then it's possible as time passes that we'll appear in the national ones, because it'd be great to be able to meet up with people and do more of these demonstrations in person. I mean, SuperSense for iOS launched just before the pandemic started. So all the presentations and all the conversations we've been having with people have been virtual almost entirely up to this point. So it'd be a lot of fun to get out there in person and get on the ground and show people some of this stuff. There are videos on the website, Carmen, yes. And also there's a tutorial in SuperSense, an audio tutorial that demonstrates all of the features. If that would also be interesting. Yeah, of course. And thank you, Kevin, for the question. That's a good question. If you know people, if you run a chapter or a division, or you know people who do, I'd love to be in touch. Always happy to chat with ACB and NFB groups.
Yeah, I'll try and get the word out.
Of course, I appreciate you. They've both been very kind to us, so always happy to give discounts and be friends with everyone. It's a lot of fun. I want to thank you for letting me survive this incredible hit to my reputation that I've taken by showing up so late to you guys' meeting. You guys are incredible. Thank you for spending your time on a Tuesday talking about SuperSense and hanging out with us and WSB. That's really amazing.
Well, we are really glad to have you, and at World Services, we also agree in supporting the greater community. So we love what you're doing at SuperSense, and keep doing what you're doing, and we'll keep moving forward together. So guys, we're going to wrap it up at this point. If you guys have any other questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us. This recording will be shared, and just stay in touch. So y'all have a great rest of your week. Holiday season is here. Y'all have a great holiday season, and we will talk soon.
Absolutely. Be safe, my friends. Thank you so much.
All right, you as well.